Hello, it's Greg Grizzled and Gaijin. We're back. We hope you're having a happy day wherever you're listening to this audio content from. As always, we'd like to thank you for your continued support of Greg Grizzled and Gaijin social media and writing efforts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is episode 050 of the Greg Grizzled and Gaijin, definitely not a podcast show. A light and fluffy look at social media, Japan, Japanese food, expat life, and life in general. As always, your retweets of this and all the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful content that we actively tweet and retweet out on Craig Hoffman11 on Twitter is appreciated. Thank you in advance for helping us get the good word out about Greg Grizzled and Gaijin. Welcome back, another good show today, I hope. It's been a little bit, lots going on in my life. Actually, I haven't been alone at my house to even record this one take effort. But today, those that I care about are out pursuing their passions with full energy and gusto, and so I have a minute. As well, I've been in and out of the hospital. Nothing terribly serious, but it takes time to get such things checked out and addressed. I'm on the mend, and I'm feeling better, but again, that takes time, and so health has to trump basically everything if one hopes to keep going in life, and so it did and does. But I've been getting a lot of emails about blogging, writing, social media, and life, and I thought the 50th episode of this show, again, not done for ratings or whatnot, I simply enjoy discussing things and giving people entertainment, of course, and something to think about. And again, if my 2 yen helps you in your life, that's great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. I'm not the one asking the questions and searching for answers. And hopefully at some point in the show, you have an aha moment and you feel good and happier than when you first clicked the button on this content. But thank you for listening for that. And again, as I've said before, my great friend Braden enjoys this format, and he wrote last week and asked, when are you going to do another audio show? So I thought, since he's back in Japan for a limited time, I would put it out. But today I want to talk a little bit in general terms about happiness. I did a happiness lecture the other day, and I put 2 questions on the board. Why are you happy, and why are other people not happy? And a lot of people say, I don't know. And say, I don't know. And people chalked it up to bad health, of course, and no money and no job and the relationship trouble. But all of those are symptoms, I put forth, of a person's inability to find and or create happiness. And I wrote and I've said a lot about I'm a happiness generator. 2019 has not been my best year, but I continue to be upbeat and positive because that is what I choose to put out into the world. It doesn't mean I'm always 100% happy, but my outward expression of that, especially in public situations, is sincere and happy. And I think when one acts happy and focuses on positive words and speech, invariably they become happier than they were before. And again, the alternative, when you set out about your day as the gloomy Gus, as it were, and your words and actions and attitudes are negative, that generally comes to fruition as a negative existence. And that's unfortunate for a lot of people. And social media, writing, and blogging is much the same. Someone wrote and said, I want to become a professional writer. I'm going to quit my job. How fast do you think I can do that? Well, I don't know, right? And I said, do you have any writing samples? I said, well, no, but I had a few Facebook posts that people really liked. I said, oh. Well, say, what would I do if I was going to start a blog? And I said, I'd write about 50 posts, 500 to 700 words, and I would send them to friends and other people for feedback to get their opinion on what they liked and what they didn't like. I said, oh, okay, I'll get right back to you. That was like 3-4 weeks ago. They have not sent me one single word, one single sentence, let alone one single post for me to even give a comment or opinion. But the person in that email said, quote, "I'm willing to do anything to reach my dream," end quote. And maybe they are, but that doesn't seem to include writing. And that seems surreal, and that could not possibly be true. That story is 100% true, and worse, not unique. I wanted to start a blog 2.5 years ago. I had been blogging before and I'd stopped. I signed up for a blog. I started a blog. That's step one. It's a step that stops a lot of people. The second part of that is that you have to keep going. I see any number of blogs. They start out with great intentions. 10, 20 posts later, they're done. Another blogger was contemplating paying money for self-hosting and a .com domain name. Should I do it? She asked the forum. I went to the blog. She had 400 followers of the blog, to her credit. She had posted 12 times in the last more than a year. And she wants to spend like 80 to 90 to 120 US dollars a year for a blog upgrade, a domain name, and all the bells and whistles. And I said, why would you do that for 12 posts? And she said, thank you for your advice, and nothing more. Blogging isn't just writing. Blogging is entertainment. Blogging is marketing. You can't market what you don't have. You have to produce content. And that stops a lot of the bloggers who even start. Oh, I'm busy. Oh, I have a life. Oh, I have family. Oh, I have a job. Oh, I have bad health. Oh, no time. I have no sympathy for that at all. That's a loser's mentality. The loser says, I can't. I don't have time. What they really mean is I won't prioritize blogging and writing and social media over other things. And I'm not saying that that makes that or them incorrect. But that is exactly why the blog and the social media don't grow. There are no days off on social media marketing. It doesn't mean that you have to physically be there 365, 24/7, but your content had better be there more often than it is not. And that too stops people. When someone writes you and corresponds with you and you don't write back, they remember that. And maybe you were busy. And maybe they were busy. But you had a choice to take the time to write back and engage and show some initiative and effort, and you didn't. And people tend to remember that, as they tend to remember the opposite. It's not an equal A to B conversion. You're going to give a lot more of yourself. I've given like 46,000 tweets, numerous retweets of people, 632 blogs as I record this. And people have responded and read and retweeted and engaged me, and I have a rather active Gray Grizzled and Gaijin super fan following. Thank you for that. But that's not magic, and that's not most people. Most of the people I engage combined don't have my social media influence. And it has little to do with me being smarter or more talented. It has much more to do with me simply being more consistent and harder working. People think they're working hard, but what they're doing isn't nearly enough. And that also applies when people are, quote, trying to be happier. I want to be happy. There's your first problem. I need, doesn't really matter. It's what I have. And I told somebody during that lecture, my wife is really beautiful. My family is amazing. And even at the top of my Facebook, I put basically, I'm perfect. And my beloved mother said, well, that's a lot of ego, son. I love her, by the way. And I said, yes, it is, mother. Where do you think I got it from? My life has been a tough climb, as many people's are. At times, my climb was straight up a wall. There was no incline at all. That was 100% grit, determination, and a refusal to take no for an answer. And I returned back to the social media, blogging, and writing. People said, no, Craig, people won't read that. People said, no, too negative. People said, oh, why do you post that? Why do you write that? Why do you do this? Very, very, very. Why do you write the book like that? Why do you post about that? Why do you retweet your stuff? And I ignored all of that. I heard it and I remembered it, to be sure. But my sole goal was to put a maximum superhuman effort into my marketing, my social media, my blogging, my writing, and my belief in myself that I could become a successful writer, blogger, and social media influencer. And none of that is a magic secret. It's not like followers fell out of the sky and onto my Twitter feed. 632 blogs did not magically post themselves. And 46,000 tweets did not appear by accident. And the fact that I'm a happy person is not an accident either. It's an intentional effort to maximize my daily happiness moment by moment. And when you maximize your moments and your days turn into weeks and months and years of a pattern of being positive and happy. And then when rain clouds come in, as they invariably do when one goes about living life, one is prepared for the storm. So when things like this year in 2019 happen to me in bunches that by any measure are rather negative, I can still hold my head high, walk forward in my life, and know that while today is not my best day, there are better days ahead for me. So I think when we talk about blogging and social media and writing, don't leave things unsaid, unwritten, and undone. Make that a priority. And make in your life, at every opportunity, prioritizing your happiness and your positive contributions to whatever you are doing, large and or small. Make every moment as memorable as you can, and you'll be fine. That's it, and have a great, great day.